Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about multi-system emulation with SkyEmu, and for those who may not be aware, SkyEmu is a low-level Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Nintendo DS emulator. Its primary focus is to preserve these great systems for future generations while providing a good user experience through a good mixture of trade-offs of accuracy, performance, features, and usability. So at the time of filming, SkyEmu V4 is the latest update, and I would say this is a real big update and also an update that's going to start to put SkyEmu on the map for a lot of people. I mean, with this update, they've introduced retro achievements, RetroArch Retro Core, cross-platform Google Drive Cloud Sync for save states. For Android here, full controller and hardware keyboard support, ARM32 x86 64 builds are now available, and launch ROMs via command line, perfect for front-end launchers. And on top of that, from a user experience and visual standpoint, they have completely revamped things. They say fresh default theme, custom bitmap themes, UI fonts, bezel, overlays, touchscreen controls, recently played improvements list, search, multi-sort, and delete. Touch controls now show optional button labels, additional toggle rewind and fast forward speed and slow motion at 1/2, 1/4, and 1/8 speed. Hardcore mode disables emulation aids for a true hardware experience. BIOS and save files can be added and removed directly from the UI. Export save states from web builds, and even more. So if you didn't believe me before, you can probably see why this is a big update. I mean, on top of all of that, there's bug fixes, accuracy improvements, performance gains, 8-screen layout options for the Nintendo DS, and even more. And speaking about multi-system emulators, next up here we're talking about BizHawk, which is very popular for tool-assisted speedruns. And BizHawk just got a big brand new update. So at the time of filming, BizHawk version 2.11 is the latest update. And with this update, there's some brand new cores here. DSDA Doom for Doom, Heretic, and Hexen, DOSBox X for DOS and early Windows, and Opera for 3DO. On top of that, they've got updates to a whole bunch of different systems here. Atari 2600, Atari 7800, SNES, C64, and even more. This is a real big update overall. It's got a ton of performance improvements, bug fixes, and enhancements. I mean, taking a look at DiscoHawk, and they say sped up CHD writing by an order of magnitude. And for EmuHawk, it now supports relative mouse input. If you are interested in this and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, link will be within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. And continuing to talk about emulation, next up here we're talking about CoffeeGB. Now, CoffeeGB is meant to be a development exercise, but it is a very interesting emulator, and it just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, CoffeeGB version 1.6.0 is the latest update. And they say here, since version 1.5.0, CoffeeGB has supported rollback-based netplay. And with version 1.6, it improves the user experience for netplay. And speaking about development, next up here we're talking about MVG, where MVG stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Modern Vintage Gamer, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Anyways here, I would say this is a huge loss for limited run games. MVG says in an update, after 6+ years of building and shipping games with the Carbon engine at limited run games, yesterday was my last day with the company. I've made the decision to step away from my role as lead developer and have joined the incredible team at Digital Eclipse Entertainment Partners as part of their world-class development team. Now, I don't know about you, but I would say this is a huge loss for limited run games and a massive win for Digital Eclipse, and I'm really curious to see what happens moving forward. And speaking about development and big wins and big losses, next up we're talking about Windows 11. And listen to this headline over on The Verge. Windows 11 is adding another Copilot button nobody asked for. Ever wish you could share a window with Copilot directly from the taskbar? No, neither have we. So The Verge says here, want to know who is celebrating in that dog pile on the mound, or dig a little deeper into that sculpture you just took a photo of? Just click on the Share with Copilot button that pops up in the window preview. Copilot Vision scans what's on your screen, analyzes it, and lets you discuss the contents of that window with Microsoft's AI chatbot. to get more context, including offering tutorials. I'll be honest with you on this one, I have zero interest, and I mean possibly even less than zero interest in using a feature like this. Now, I do primarily use Linux, and stuff like this is one of the many reasons why I choose Linux over Windows. But just let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I do think that this is a step in the possible wrong direction if there's not a way to disable it. However, it is worth noting that, in my opinion, that title may be a little bit clickbaity, but also not. It is only currently right now in Windows 11 preview, so it may not make it into the stable build, but I would assume since it's in preview, they're seriously thinking about it. And speaking about Copilot, next up we're talking about Gaming Copilot. Now, we talked about this one a while back. I think I was on a camping walk when we talked about this one last time. Anyways, here, it's being reported that Microsoft has started rolling out Gaming Copilot on Windows 11 PCs. Now, I don't know if this will be enabled by default or if it's something users are going to have to manually enable, because they say here to start using Gaming Copilot in the game bar, Windows users must install the Xbox PC app on their PC, and then use the Windows logo key plus G keyboard shortcut to open the game bar. Next, they can find the Gaming Copilot icon in the home bar, open the widget, and log into their Xbox account. However, more importantly here, at least to me, those who don't want to use it can also remove Gaming Copilot from the widget list by going into Settings after pressing Win plus G. I would recommend checking out this article for more information on the matter, and again, like everything we talk about, link will be within the GitHub link in the description below. It just seems like AI is going to be a part of everything nowadays. It seems very intrusive and, well, something I'm not the biggest fan of. Not to say I'm a hater against AI, it's just I also like my freedom without AI, and I'd like it to be more optional as opposed to more integrated. Let me know your thoughts. And speaking about AI, next up we're talking about the upcoming GPD Win 5, the handheld that features the AMD Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 and also one with a 385 in it. Now, we've talked about this one in the past, and based on what I've seen so far, people are really excited about the potential horsepower under the hood of this thing. But then the prices have been revealed, and I think people are less excited about the prices of this thing. Full details can be found over on retrohandhelds.gg, but I guess the top tier version is being priced at $2,120 US. Now, mind you, that is with 64 gigs of RAM and a 4 terabyte SSD. If you wanted to cut that back a little bit, like in half, it doesn't cut the price in half, but it cuts the specs aside from the CPU in half. So 32 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage will set you back $1,650. And if you go with a slightly weaker CPU and also a little bit less storage here, it's $1,448. Now, in my opinion here, there are a couple of things worth pointing out. First and foremost, the AMD Ryzen 395 and 385, they're no slouches when it comes to CPUs. They are very powerful. They are, I don't want to say state of the art, but they are very good. They're not cheap either, so a lot of that price, I'm guessing, is coming from that CPU. At the same time, though, I mean, we're over $1,000, over $2,000 now for handhelds. Now, Bob Wolf has a video that I would recommend checking out. It's titled, "We Can't Keep Doing This," and it's about the increasing prices in handhelds and a few other things. He goes on a bit of a rant here. It's almost 30 minutes long, but at the same time, I do think it's worth a watch. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really about affordability here, and in this case, these are serious investments now. There's a huge difference between spending like $80 on a gaming handheld as opposed to $2,000 or over $2,000 now. I mean, that's in laptop and your own PC territory. Let me know your thoughts about this and the pricing. I mean, there is, I would say, a place for these devices, but at the same time, the market, I think, starts to really narrow the more expensive these devices get. Next up, we're talking about Nintendo, and Go Nintendo here has spotted a brand new Nintendo patent that points to in-game missions, achievements, rewards, and even more. So based on my understanding so far, it seems as if Nintendo is trying to patent getting rewards for completing stuff in-game. Listen to this paragraph here. It seems that Nintendo is taking a multifaceted approach to their achievement setup, as gamers will get digital rewards and points for clearing out objectives. Sometimes you'll tackle a mission and get points, while other times you'll earn something like an icon or wallpaper. You'll also be able to use these points to cash in and purchase rewards. Also, from my understanding, it does seem it will be restricted to people who have NSO accounts. We're going to have to wait and see on this one once some more legal experts take a look at it and try to dissect it and see what it means for games that already have achievements and stuff that already exists, like retro achievements. This point system to get rewards, I would say, is a little bit different, but at the same time, it just seems eerily familiar. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're quickly talking about Bloodborne, and I would say this news may come as a surprise to some and may not come as a surprise to others. It is being reported that no progress has been made on a Bloodborne remake. Now, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised about this one, as earlier on in the year it was reported that Lance McDonald received a DMCA from Sony regarding his 60 FPS Bloodborne patch. You would think if Sony was actively taking down patches to bring Bloodborne to 60 FPS that they would be working on something. I don't know here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking about remakes and arguably stuff that hasn't started yet, next up we're talking about Konami. And it seems as if Konami is interested in remaking another Metal Gear game. So based on my understanding, this was one of the survey questions that Konami sent out during Tokyo Game Show 2025. And listen to this question. Please select all of the following Metal Gear series titles that you would like to see remade. Now, for me, I just check everything, but for you, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. No surprise, there are some heavy hitters here. And speaking about the Tokyo Game Show, next up, we're quickly talking about Capcom, and this is more of just a heads up as to what Capcom is bringing to TGS. So they say here they're bringing information about Pragmata, Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection, Street Fighter 6, Onimusha Way of the Sword, and Monster Hunter Rise, and also Monster Hunter Stories 3. And I'm pretty sure I just said Monster Hunter Rise, and I meant to say Monster Hunter Wilds. Also here, they say there will be no new information regarding Resident Evil Requiem. And speaking about information about stuff, next up we're talking, well, lordy, that was a really bad segue. Anyways, we're talking about OnePlus. And it's being rumored that the upcoming OnePlus will have a ceramic frame that will be 4 times stronger than titanium. Now, based on my understanding here, OnePlus is taking a bit of a different path moving forward, focused on durability and performance over features. Could be wrong with that, but I don't think they're partnered with Hasselblad anymore in terms of their cameras. They will feature a 7,000 milliamp hour battery and a Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. Now, as a content creator, I would say the cameras are one of the biggest features I'm looking for in a phone. One of them. Performance is obviously another one. As a gamer, performance is the biggest thing here, and the OnePlus may be a huge gaming performer. I'm very curious to see how it does overall. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.